Okay, that's taking way too long for me to get things up and running here. It is your Wonderful Wind Mage, your Cruise Ship servant, Chartreuse Proxy, ever and always at your service now. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. Tonight is a Tuesday night, February 4th, 2025, everybody. This has been a stream of technical difficulties and everything in between, hilariously enough. For a wonderful game, as I take a sip of water, that I've been looking forward to for a good little bit here. Hello, Calvin, Ed, Zero. You alive as well? Drop a word? Yeah! I mean, you don't have to drop in necessarily. Okay, wait. That's demeaning it. Quite frankly, you are streaming yourself, you say. Focus on yourself. I'm secondary to that. Focus on yourself first, girl. Yeah? Anyway. I am here to maybe variety stream with some friends later on, depending on how things go, whoever comes around. But for now, I want to take part in a wonderful little game that I have not played in 2 years. That is one little Teamfight Manager. For those of you that don't know, I am a huge esports nut when it comes to watching games. Did I ever put in the time to go pro or anything like that or so? No, because I was realistic and I didn't throw my life playing League of Legends or CSGO or anything like that or so. But what do I love watching? You know, I just love watching them, watching sports in general. And quite frankly, there is one genre that I've loved, which is simulation when it comes to it, and especially if there's esports simulation that exists in a vacuum, I am going to enjoy it very much so. The reason why I'm explaining all of this out is because when it comes to on Steam, there is a very poignant thing, which is the makers of this wonderful little game here, Teamfight Manager, have just announced recently that they are making a sequel, Teamfight Manager 2, that is coming out Q4 2025, so winter of this year. Big thing about it, when it comes to Teamfight Manager 2, is, well, it's a new sequel based more on the MOBA franchise than this arena fighter, from what it seems to be. I say franchise on the MOBA genre itself, if you actually see from the screenshot and everything like that or so. This is going to come out this coming year, later on or so. The original Teamfight Manager came out in 2021, and I played that when it first came out all the way back then, and I made it a habit of mine to play it almost every year whenever Worlds for League of Legends actually came around or so. I did one full playthrough, and it took Sky 5, my bootleg Cloud9 franchise, to the World Championship, and then I slightly did it a little bit by leading on my team of GaleForce to just about the semi-pro lead. That was in 2023. And you can see my old Sky 9s and then Sky 5. It's actually some of my old ones there. Here's the rub with it though. The last time that I played this series, and I'm looking at it on my own VOD channel, November 18, 2023. I did 3 episodes of that, and that was it. So, I'm thinking, kind of like with Misty Izakaya for my Monday slot, I want to make this a consistent series again, and see if I can't lead my team to a world championship whenever it comes around. Hopefully before Teamfight Manager 2 comes out is the big thing. Because if I can actually get myself to a whole victory, all things considered, like a whole victory, like winning a world championship after all said and done, I'm gonna be very proud of myself. All within a year? I mean, considering my stream time, we'll just really have to see how that goes. Yeah. But in the meantime then, let's not beat around the bush. Let us play. Main thing that I'm going to be doing with it is that I am going to be looking at things when it comes around to. I think what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to do my original stuff here. I don't remember if I did insane or not. Well, it's just me coming back to it, and honestly, I think this would be a very funny and cool thing if I was able to do insane. Now, granted, I don't know how bad that power disparity is going to be, but I'm going to try my best one way or another. Either way, whenever it comes to it, let's see here. So, the way that this game works, I'll explain it out, because it's been 2 years. Let me actually put everything here. Let's do random adjusted. Wow. That's actually really cool that there's actually Fearless Draft that wasn't in here before. Okay, let's do this thing. Let's freaking do this thing then. Two patches a season. Should it be a mid-season? Should I just have a mid-season patch? I should do it frequent. I mean, it's going to be a high patch level. I think with all the changes, I think I should keep it to normal. Because I think last time I did frequent and high, that really hurt everything when it came to it. Alright, let's do this thing then. The new age will come around. It is going to be GaleForce as it used to always be back then. As it used to always be, and how it always will continue to be. Chartreuse. GaleForce. Exactly so. And here we will start our new legacy. Is there any cool hair that is close enough to mine? I mean, I don't think there's gonna be a yellow enough in that way. I guess what I should get to would be kind of like that. It's more green, more than just a yellow on its own, though. Yeah, there's really not much here. I might just go for blondish or green, but I'm more yellow-green. Ah, you know what? Let's rock with it. Let's try this out then. So, welcome to GaleForce in 2025. Chartreuse, who holds the records for the most wins back in the olden day when I let in the backstory of this game, sent shockwaves to the world and has been appointed to the amateur lead of GaleForce for their team's head coach. They had a promise to lead them to the World Championship, and we look forward to seeing how they do. So, I am going to start with 4 random parts. This is a 4v4 game, so let's see who I got. Khan Reckless Wise Mission. That is 2 legends of lead right then and there. I've got to say, all things considered, considering how Reckless is still playing right now in Los Ratones. Ooh, lead stuff. So main thing here is that I'm going to be in the amateur lead, and I want to make the top 2 out of it here, out of everybody that we have here. And Esports Not Me is of course going to have a bunch of esports teams, exactly so, whenever it comes to it, for what's his face, for my opponents, because this is kind of like seeded in or so. So out of this here, with me having my VTuber group GaleForce, we have Loud from South America, or now the LTA North, I believe, League of the Americas. Detonation Focus Me, that's Japan. Movistar, Gam from wildcard slots. I can't remember where they actually come from, but PSG, Movistar, Gam are all wildcards. I think LGD was EU, if I remember. Anyone's origin I know is CN, China. The fact is, we're going to do, I think it's a double round robin, and we want to make the playoffs. As you can see, top 5 out of the 8 teams in the amateur league will make playoffs, and then top 2 will get promoted from amateur to semi-pro to pro, and then at the pro league, you have to qualify for worlds and win the world championship. I have my team that I'm going to get to coach out and primarily try to raise their stats up and everything like that or so, and I have to do things such as balancing their budget and actually winning games. So let's check things out here. Oh shoot, did I do balanced enough, or is that totally everybody in the roster? Wait a second, did I get everybody in the roster by accident? I'm going through the list here. I don't think this is everybody, is it? I'm trying to remember here. Okay, no, this is not everybody, but that is a very big amount of people. Because it's Fearless Draft, so we have to go through it here. But anyway, there is a lot. Okay, so that's why there's so many, because I put Fearless Draft. Okay, yeah, I haven't played this game in 2 years, so there's a lot of updates I need to go through again. The main thing is that there is a bunch of chances we're gonna have to cycle through and figure out how to best use for our team here. We have Warriors, which are gonna be your frontliners, Marksmen, your AD carries, Mages are mages, Supports, exactly so, and Assassins. We have a huge brevity of characters that we need to understand, and it would honestly take a while to go through all of them, so I will try to break down things as we go along here. Fact is, I'm going to have to see what works best with my team, and basically draft around my best composition, so since we're going to be focusing around with as much as we can when it comes to B. And this is very interesting. There is so many people, and that's because it is what's the face, we're doing Fearless. Okay, main thing is, I have 200 bucks to spend and try to train my people around. Main thing here is that I can either use that money to try to find new recruits around or so, which I think I'll go ahead and do so. Because I have 6 team slots, as you can see from my squad. So I can have substitutes in between matches. And I can also do things such as trying to make new equipment for my team, upgrading facilities as we get onto it in time, and also maybe getting sponsors in the future. Main thing here, though, is that I need to see what I can train my people on, potentially or so. And I think the high priority would probably just be putting some stuff into each of their base stats, and then maybe training a new character. Because the main thing is that I really need to see the best way for me to broaden my champion horizons. With it going to be fearless draft, meaning I can only draft 1 champion per match, or per set basically, I need to have everybody varied out. So let's go over what we've got here. Khan knows Gambler and Ghost. Gambler is an ADC who can get wild swings of huge hits or not. Ghost is a assassin who is more of a tank that needs to scale up very fast. Reckless has Barrier Mage, who is a support. Funny because he's playing support for Horse Rotonas right now. And Werewolf, who is a high mobility assassin. Clown and Dual Blader. Dual Blader works best with stuns. They are a frontliner. So they're the Yasuo of this game. Smile, you need people to be knocked up to combo. And then we have 2 Clown players. Clown deals decent damage, if I remember exactly so. March somebody and then stuns them whenever they get hit. That should be my opening combo. I draft around Clown and Dual Blader when it comes to it. Which is Dual Blader has, so every character in this game has their stats. They just have basic attacks, they have an ability, and then they have an ultimate, which they get to use 1 time per set. A game is 60 seconds. Whoever gets the most kills in an arena-style shooter, arena-style brawler, wins the round, and then it's first to 3 or first to 5, depending on the tournament. So I need to draft around and see what works best or so. My immediate prognosis out of this here is that I might want to draft around Wise and Mission, potentially, around the synergy here. Main thing is that they all have the different stats for attack and defense right here, as you can see. And then they have Champion Mastery. That 4 and 3 is telling you how good they are with the champion. Because if you get to play, because the way that it works is that if this player plays that champion exactly, they get plus whatever to both attack and defense. So that'd be plus, if Wise gets to play Clown, they get plus 4 to attack and defense. If they play Dual Blader, they get plus 3 instead. So what I'm thinking about potentially trying to do instead then would be something along the lines of drafting Dual Blader for Wise and then Clown for Mission, then seeing what I can bat them up with. Because I need to look at immediately what we are offering here. So, Dual Blader, their skill can activate every 2 seconds to charge and attack an enemy that is unable to move and levitates them off the ground. So this is a knock-up, and this follows up on any stunning effect. But only on any stunning effect. It can't go off on its own, which is the main thing. Which is where Clown, I think, is going to come in. Clown will march somebody with the lowest HP, and they don't have a regular ultimate, but passively, whenever that marked enemy receives damage, they dash towards them and stun them. So when they steal damage, I could literally just have 2 divers, potentially, on somebody to go in. Which means I might need a way to deal broad damage. That might be a good way for me to draft into Khan's Gambler, who still summons a dice and rolls it, and then attacks enemies at random. So whoever the marked target is, I could literally leave it up to potential luck from Gambler to hit on that way. It's either that, or I need to go for mages who can hit with AoE. Pyromancer and Lightning Mage can cast, have different ways to deal multiple sources of damage and all like that, so I think that might be good for me here. Otherwise, though, the other big thing that I should really be looking at right now is potentially I could look to strengthen my players' stats straight up, strengthen their mastery, or make them new characters, or also I can have them stream. And quite frankly, Reckless, how about you stream for now? Get some kills so I can make some money, because I need to have an engine to actually be able to, I need to have an engine to be able to finance GaleForce. So we are currently in off-season. If I look at schedule right now, we can recruit players freely before signing period ends, and then we have our rounds of the Amateur League. You can see, 2 round robins basically, and then we have our vacations before playoffs. So the weekly activities will just continue it on week by week, just about or so. Gonna play it safe for my streaming, because I can do riskier stuff for higher money, or you could fail too, Reckless. You got an 81%, brother. That's because I'm trying to get more money to potentially get new facilities for myself here. Until then, we're just kind of chilling. Like, we did find a recruitment, Neria, 12 and 12 with Gale to increase attack speed by 10%. Yes, please! Welcome to the team, brother! Holy crap, that is amazing! Alright, Reckless, you need to make us some money, please, because if I want to recruit a 6th man, that would be very big, and that changes things, because that's 12 and 12, you're doubling the stats of all the initial recruits here. Ninja can be good, potentially, but I think I need everybody to just keep training up on new champions overall, on their base stats plus new champions. The base stats are what's going to carry me through, quite frankly, and I need to just keep scaling off on that end afterwards. Alright. Everybody else will start earning new champions soon enough. I have 2 more weeks of free recruitment period in February. Pyromancer, Lightning Maids, Barrier Maids, Lancer for your new champions. Interesting. Everybody else is slowly going up as well. Alright, I have sponsors, which can earn me huge amounts of money, potentially, for doing something specifically. So, Yohan's Piano can give me 15,000 if I prevent myself from losing twice, which I don't think I'd be able to do. Hider Express is less. But I can easily get just as much money, if more, and even a sponsored headset if I go with Sweet Burger Company. They'll give me equipment, which I can use to make, they'll give me funds, of course, and parts, which I can make new equipment on, and I just have to use these characters at least a total of 11 times during the season. I think that's an easy sponsor, give me that. Next up, Dandy. Dandy, you have a pretty good repertoire too. Welcome to the team, brother. I will gladly search out. I will spend the money to search still, just for the fact of, you know, during the off time, I might find another player to, you know, basically replace over whoever I might or might not need. So we'll see how it goes. But at least for now, I need everybody earning new champions constantly. Having a varied repertoire is, I think, what's going to win us games, potentially. So I'd like y'all to have whatever new champions you can potentially get. Otherwise, Reckless, you are still going to be our team streamer. Nice, nice, nice. Make us some money. Okay. Our recruitment will end this week, meaning that if I didn't get my full roster of 6, then I wouldn't be able to do too much more, but okay. Let us consider, after Reckless' streaming, what we might want to look at for my squad here. I definitely want to have Neria and Dandy as my starters, basically, no matter what here. Plus a 12, 12, 13, 13. That is amazing stats. What characters do they play? Neria plays Exorcist and Ninja. Ninja teleports to the backline and can easily assassinate squishies, supports, or mages if he's left to 1v1 them. He also plays Exorcist, who gets to cleanse CC effects against enemies, is pretty tanky on his own, and gets to hit back. Dandy plays Gunner, Cook, Dark Mage. Gunner has less attack than a regular 80 carry, I believe. Yeah, 20 compared to 30, 42, 30, 40, 20. But they get to keep attacking while moving, so they get to kite and slow enemies. And they have Cassidy, McCree ult, however you want to call him. Redacted Blizzard name ult. So I can easily draft him against assassins when it comes to it, but otherwise he plays Dark Mage, who prevents buffs. And he also plays Cook, who doesn't attack, but instead heals. So I need tanks. I don't have anybody that plays a tank besides a Lancer on our team here. From, what's his face? A Lancer from Mission, who isn't really good. So that's where I feel like we're really going to suffer. We don't have any frontliners, really. So I'm going to have to really draft around. I need to play around my strengths, so let's see what I'd probably want. I'm thinking really Swordsman used to be really busted, if I remember. Knight also is just always a very solid pick. for the fact that a taunt existing is really good. Cold Taunts also could be really good as well, considering how they can easily just be a huge face tank on its own. I'm talking a lot about characters that you haven't been able to see in action yet, but that's because with any MOBA, we need to learn things. Neria knows Monk? Oh, release game Monk? You gotta be kidding me. That is busted. Okay. I have 6 people in my roster. Only 4 people can play at a time, but I can register 6 for substitutes, potentially. That is huge. Learning Monk this early on? Oh, baby girl. Messiah? Oh, that would be really nice if I could recruit you, potentially. I don't like your stuff though. Okay, just for the raw stats, but having your stuff potentially reduce if we're losing or winning, that's not the best. Okay. So let's take a look here. I am going against Movistar M7 first. If I look at them potentially, I can see what their stats are and what mains that their characters have. But I'm gonna have to just play and see how it goes. So, alright. We're gonna go to the stadium for our first ever match of 2025 Teamfight Manager. So let's do this thing. Our little dingy apartment house. And the team bus. But we're gonna do this thing, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it feels good to be playing Teamfight Manager again. This gives me memories. Alright, so you can immediately see my short list here. I can swap out, see how my players are feeling right now, and swap who I may or may not want in the match. So what is the keys to my victory here? Monk early. I think Monk could be my frontliner. That is a tanky support who can heal and give shields. So I need Dandy and Neria to basically stay in all the time here. So it then comes down to who else I might want. I potentially have a very tanky support frontline when it comes to Munt and Cook. So I think I could still go for that class that I was talking about with Lies and Mission going Clown Dual Biter. Just depends on what gets taken away from me here, but I think I could also really prioritize a lot of impact into Dandy. Getting Dark Mage can shut down their 2 support pits of Cook and Priestess, so we'll have to see how this goes here. But main thing is, alright. We're just going to play this out. We're going to see how this goes. It's a best of 3. And it's going to be straight MOBA drafting. It's going to be Snake Draft. So there is bans all throughout here. We get 2 bans at the beginning of the beginning rounds, and then we go on from there. So no Priestess. No Priestess otherwise means I could potentially target ban Hermes, their bot laner there, who's in a bad mood. So I think I can ban their Necromancer and leave them on no comfort pits at all then. Otherwise, they're banning away Neria's Monk. Interesting, and I do see the reason, the rhyme and reason between that. So what don't I want to deal with here? I think I fear ADD for their Plague Doctor potential, which is that to easily spiral out of the way. Plague Doctor is a very oppressive character on their own when it comes to my mind here. But, do I fear it, or do I think I could actually make something off of it? I think I fear it because I want to go with my original combo and see how we go. So, first pitch, they are picking Kut. So, they want to potentially outlast us or so, because that Kut is healing over time. So, I need to have a very explosive opening game, and I think I will go with that opening game plan that I talked about. Dual Blader and Clown to mark people and stun them, which means I need to find more ways to keep stunning people. Stuns to keep activating Dual Blader if possible. Poison Dart Hunter is an AD carry that's going to poison us, so we will slowly wither away over time. So what do I need to do here? I need to potentially ban away people that could potentially be a big frontline threat. I think I fear their Berserker from Light, because that could easily be somebody who lives way too long, and with Kut's help, that will be too much sustain. No Ghost. So now I have Dandy as a pick otherwise. What other stuns do I potentially have here? Lancer should be my frontline, all things considered, considering how they get to push people away, which means that I could easily, that's another way for Dual Blader to hit, and that's AoE on the push, and I think that could be good. It's just, that is a slow character against Dart Hunter, which I don't particularly like. Fighter might be a better pick, because that is somebody who can run around pretty fast, hit, stun, maybe get their supports out of the way, and that is a stun potentially here. That is a very potential stun. I think I'm liking that idea here, all things considered, so I think I'll draft into that. We gotta see what else they're getting. Cold Corpse is their front line. That is a tank who just relies on big beefy hits then. And then their Executioner, who is a big tank, who is also a HUD character. This could be a potential problem here. I don't have healing, and they have a very, very big beefy front line. So what do I potentially want to do then? I think what I could do is I could really lay into it by going Lightning Maids and just try to wear them down. Because that's two slower tanks. Because Executioner's speed is 5. Cold Corpse speed is 4. I get a speed 7 here. I could potentially go Lightning Maids to really paralyze them and keep that up. Matt's HP proportion though, 200, 180, 210. I have swishy people here. Is Mystic Dancer better? Because they don't have backline access. Because Mystic Dancer is a solid 80 carry, and I have Assassins to potentially pop off, get kills on that end. I think I gotta draft into that. This is the idea that I gotta go for. Okay. So, give Clown over to Wise, give Neria... No, give Dual Boider to Wise, give Clown to Mission. I think what I'd like is attack speed. I think I'd like Neria to have the Mystic Dancer, because that attack speed plus 10 is going to be big. And then Dandy, you're just going to have to tank for us with your higher stats. Because we're only early on in our coaching journey, we don't have much to really say here besides maybe using stuff early. I have 2 ults only on my team here, but I think having a very fast-paced match is big, because Mystic Dancer is a scaling character, so I want to start with that and see if I can stop their cook from being able to outlast us. Alright, so you're gonna see it. This is an arena fighter to where if you die, you just respawn after a few seconds, and it's just whoever gets the most kills after 60 seconds here. So the main thing is, I want to rush down the enemy, and you're seeing I'm getting pretty relative success to that end, but the poison is easily gonna tip me down, and that is a problem. Good Dual Boider ultimate though, that does kill a good amount of them. My fighter ultimate whiffed completely though, and the tempo is really slowing down, because that poison clouds from the Dart Hunter is doing a little bit too much, and I am not particularly enjoying it here. Cold Quartz is also going to tank way more than I'd like, and you see we're falling behind on tempo for kills here. Cloud is doing some decent damage, but they're just slowly going to tick away, and we don't have enough damage yet. The cook is doing way too much. I can't reach the poison Dart Hunter as much as I'd like, and the front line is just sustaining way too much. Now hold on, I may have to hold my grounds here. Poison Dart Hunter kind of slightly survives due to the crit's influence here, so it's going to be a very close one depending on how the respawns go. 6 seconds left into the match, everybody's super low. The crit is keeping everybody alive. They're ahead by 1, blue side is. It's going to be a tie game until whoever gets the last kill. And the crit's healing is keeping them way too alive, and I'm losing by 1. Their priority on getting crit early and then drafting a very strong front line followed by 80 carries really screwed me over there. So I need to see if I can maybe take crit away instead and see how it goes. Close and insane match. A lot closer than I thought, considering how I'm honestly expecting to be blown out of the water a little bit, but they had more taint and they drafted against my immediate assassin comp. So that's pretty good, pretty good. You want to be more proactive? Fine enough, Wise. You want to be more, if you want that, then I'll try to see what I can do to enable you there. Because you really didn't get to do too much since you did die to the Dart Hunters. So that is understandable. What I potentially think I should do in that case, could Vampire have been a better pick to potentially have them bleed? I think I was still lead with my team here, but we're blue side now. And with, what's his face? With Fearless Draft, we can't pick those people again anyway. So that is all out of the way. Crit is out of the way anyways then. So let's keep looking for target bans. I think I'd like to keep Plague Doctor out of their reach, because I don't want to deal with that in any way. They're banning my Lancer, and I think I'd also like to keep... Where is that Berserker? Berserker on the line here. I think what I'd like to do is pick Monk for Neria first. Having Neria on Monk for healing and frontline is going to be big, and then I can start drafting into my back instead. Werewolf Knight, solid frontline from them and a taunt, and a way to pierce, to stop healing effects. So that's anti-Monk tech, and he's constantly going to be hitting us super fast. Taoist might be good. That's somebody who can literally lock down the assassin and stop them from doing anything or so. Archer might potentially be good as well as a backline threat. Because out of the marksman here, Sniper is 2 defenseless on their own. Gambor has decent attack, but Archer allows me to stun the werewolf and stop their momentum, which I think is going to be important here. I need to protect my backline. No lightning mage, so I need to find a way to stop them from potentially doing anything more here. Do I fear... What do I have? I have healing in a way. They have Night here. I could potentially go for Exorcist to help out, but then I need to find out what else might help me on this end here. What don't I want to deal with on their end? I think if I take Priestess out as a healer, then that denies Hermes from being able to do anything, since there's no healer then, and then I could see what else I could do. Dark Mage prevents them from people receiving positive effects, and that is a backliner. So that's anti-healing again on my side. You only have 90 health. Ninja can teleport to you and legitimately just nuke you. And that might be it. Granted, the Knight is there, but if I go Exorcist to cleanse the taunt, I don't know if cleanse, because it's crowd control, so I don't know if that immediately works at Knight, but if it does, I think I might have a really big draft, because Dark Mage, Exorcist can cleanse the Dark Mage, the Dark Mage, silence basically from receiving positive effects, and the Knight, and then Ninja provides me a solid way to continue hitting them on the back. I think that's a big here. Exorcist is absolutely the pick, so then it comes down to how am I going to access the backline of Dark Mage? It's that, or I have to pierce through Knight one way or another here. In which case then, Vampire might be a good idea, because that can wear people down, but with 160 health, I don't know if you have the attack speed for this necessarily here. I don't think Shadowmancer is necessarily the right play, because we don't need people to revive where they are. Taoist might honestly be really good to slow down the pace, because with the cleanses, I could just keep doing... I could, like, Woody, if I banish the werewolf, I just focus on the Knight. If I banish the Knight, I get to focus on the werewolf. This actually might just be a full comp kind of like this or so, honestly. All things considered. I think I like this idea, actually. Taoist also gets to protect my archer. Potentially. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Necromancer. Huge background from them. That potentially counters Taoist in the way that I can only seal one thing, and that's minions for Hermes still. Okay. Neria having Monk is really good potentially here, but do I want anything more? I think I want Dandy and Archer just for the raw stats themselves. I think I want Wise, who's a little bit more defensive on Taoist, because I want you to be walking them down, and then Mission can just stay on Exorcist to get us our cleanses, and we keep going on from there. We're gonna see. Okay. Do I want ults early? I think later ults would be good potentially for me here. Because Exorcist, when it comes to his stats. So let's do this thing. Alright. Main thing here, we have to get rid of the werewolf and then protect our backline. The werewolf kill before the Taoist dies is big, and the stun on Knight is actually pretty good too. Now, I don't know if Exorcist is actually getting too much. Okay, that's early ults from them when it comes to it here. And yeah, that's a lot of early stuff. We are absolutely getting swamped. At the very least, that's 2 stats on Exorcist. I don't know if if Taunt really does count for that stat, but the fact is, the Necromancer is really just getting to run on our lines, and we are falling apart here. Was Exorcist a play then? I only have 2 stats. I don't know if Taunt actually does belay on that end. But even then, yeah, the Necromancer pit is absolutely making it impossible for me to play since I can't kill them all. Okay, decent on that end to get the reset, but we're down 9 kills. I think this was a bust of a draft, potentially. Maybe more damage to potentially get through. It's that, or rather, yeah, like, Monk can only do so much, and the taunt was a little bit too much more. Exorcist doesn't actually cleanse the taunt either from what I'm seeing, so learning a little bit. I'll have to take this 0-2 loss on the chin, but I need to focus on the backline then. Okay. I drafted more into trying to play towards my strengths, but I think I should look towards champs rather than my comfort to begin with. Not the worst loss ever, but we're gonna get stronger. We're gonna learn from this here. So that is 0-2 to begin the season, but that's not the worst ever. I'm gonna take this as a learning experience. The main thing is, I know what to expect potentially from Loud coming up, my opponents, and I can see who is the highest pit characters. So from what it seems, Backline access may not be the biggest thing, necessarily, because there's enough frontline tanks. So, if I looked at, yeah, Necromancer, potentially, I could actually put very high priority in Berserker, and then, yeah, healers like Cook could be really big, because if they have 100% pit ban rate, I need to start paying attention to that. Necromancer has very high priority, so I think that could be very big. So I should index into that. I feared Plague Doctor, but Berserker as well could easily draw a lot more. So let's try this then. Let's try this. What does Loud like to play? Loud likes to play Monk, Werewolf, Sniper, Devil. Interesting then. Alright. So 2 assassins when it comes to it. Wise ain't feeling the best after that, so honestly, if you're not feeling good, then go ahead. Let's swap these guys out. Maybe if I can get a werewolf going, we could get that going. Swap these boys out. Neria, you're not feeling the best, but you need to stay in. Just I prioritize your stats, brother. You're gonna be a cornerstone for the team. Okay, so there's 3 dual border players on their team, quite frankly, here. Which I don't necessarily like, but we'll have to see how this goes. What don't I want them to potentially have? They are round 1. I think I fear Cook, because I got blasted by a Cook last time around. And then do I prioritize somebody that they were picking last time around? I think I want to try the backline idea there, so I will ban Devil, because that is a assassin who can swap people's positions. Munch first pick, exactly so. So, I think definitely the idea then is we try the draft that happened last time. Necromancer for my solid backline, Knight gets the taunt, and we draft instead of drafting around my champion and around my comfort, we draft around the meta that might be resolving. Hello, D3. Hope you're doing well. Netspan and Netspit, they pick Lightning Mage, so prevents me from clumping up. That's a potential counter to Necromancer since they can chain stun all those ghouls. So people who can bunch away, or who can get away, or if I have backline access. So what do I want to get rid of then in that case? I'd like to potentially get rid of... Werewolf could actually slow down the Munt stuff, so I want to keep him around potentially. I want to stop them from getting another frontliner. So who's dangerous on that end that I don't have high impact? I think Berserker is still what I need to get rid of then. No Barrier Mage. I have pit priority, so I could easily potentially reach the Lightning Mage. Because you have to pay attention to multiple things there. I can clear through the Monk, and with Werewolf speed, I could easily just 2-tap the Lightning Mage. Yeah, 50 attack versus 80 HP, that's a potential 2-tap range. I think it is Werewolf priority, and I'd give that to Reckless. Dual Blader for stuns with the Lightning Mage combo. Executioner for hooking in otherwise. So how would I deal with a double frontline like that? I need AoE in a way. Pyromancer might be the play then, potentially, to get things going on that end, because that allows me to absolutely run the pace super fast. That allows me, yeah, Pyromancer keeps their distance away, I can burn down Executioner and Monk, and the Pyromancer summons aren't considered things to chain into. I can shred their front line down, and I have very solid magey backline. I think that could be the idea here, because the fact is, the stuns will go in on probably the Knight as my tank first, then the summons afterwards here. If I have 2 backrunners and they spread out, then that could be easy for then that's easy enough for me to not have to worry, and you can only hook one of those 2 in, you can't hook both. So I think that might be the draft that I like here. It might be sending it a little bit, but I think that's the idea that I want. Otherwise, do I like... I think I like Neria on Pyro first more, but for the attack speed. I need Dandy on the Knight because of the higher defense. And I think I like early ultimates just for Necromancer when it comes to it. So I need to have I need to rush you down the early game when it comes to it all. Alright, let's try this. I hope you're doing well, D3. Alright, let's see here. Double backline. Werewolf needs to cause attention early, and he may start feigning down. But the fact is that hopefully I can get the Pyromancer to really run a train on you early. That didn't work the best. Okay, good ultimate to start. Dragging out their front line. That is a horrible Pyromancer ult afterwards though, but the fact is we're ahead by 2 kills. We're down all our ultimates, but if we can keep staggering them, that should be good. The Munch healing is big. The Munch shield is huge. I got the Executioner down at least though, but we are going to be even when respawns come around. Okay, decent enough, decent enough. The Executioner dragged the Werewolf, so that's fine. But the Lightning Mage is really ruining us! Oh, it's such a bad Pyromancer ult by Neria, though. That's the thing I hate the most. We're gonna stagger out because the Pyro ult was bad. Okay, okay. Get the run back kills, but we're way too low. We're gonna bleed out by a half or so. Okay, so Lightning Maid stopped me from wanting to be able to do my backline, and they were able to hook around, stop us enough. So, double backline was the idea there, but they had enough CC to prevent me from doing as much, and Knight can only do so much. Lightning Mage got to deal as much damage as my Pyromancer, and enabled Dual Blader, which is the problem that I'm seeing there. Dandy, I'm gonna count on you, brother, because I need you to help carry through with stats, quite frankly, here. Because, yeah, I didn't give you too much priority with you being on the Night Pit, but I think I should try to send it more. Alright, so those guys are already out. I think I can go for crit priority and then maybe turn it into a Berserker game if I can wear people out. So what is the idea then? What don't I want to deal with? If I want to have this be a slower game, I think I'd like to keep the assassins out of the way. No illusionist. Could go down to ninja potentially. But I'm looking for people who can belay. Because I want to just draft a frontline composition and run people down. So is there any big AoE that I'm going to have to worry about? Poison Dart Hunter is an AoE. So I think that's going to be the next big thing. Because otherwise, we really just have, like, honestly, not too much on that end. But first priority, Cook, we're going to give that to Dandy. You have priority on that. Dark Mage to take away those effects there. And Cold Corpse. That way you can just easily rush that down. Cold Corpse has 45 defense. So Swordsman could be good on that end, is what I'm thinking about. It's either that, or I would legitimately just go Ninja and try to rush you down. I think I would like to draft a frontliner, though, without a doubt. 130 versus 170 on this end here. 30 defense to 35, but I need to find a way to rush down Cold Corpse, and Lancer is more for peel rather than killing. I think with Cook priority, I can go Swordsman because I need to have a way to burst through Cold Corpse. Play Dr. John. What do I fear from them drafting on their side? Because they have Dark Mage, they have Cold Corpse. Is there a way that they can continue to augment Dark Mage then, in that case? I don't necessarily think so to this end, but that's me being blind to a draft. Priestess allows them to compete with healing for me, though, and that would help Cold Corpse out, which I do not like. I think the better idea, though, they're going Sniper. Execution is already banned away, so that is 2 backline. Ninja does exist in a vacuum here, and I do think the idea is there. If you can't get positive effects from allies, potentially, then... Is it Vampire Berserker as my draft, then? Vampire allows me to access the backline, harass the Sniper, and wear them down, pretty much. Ninja could also just kill Sniper straight up. And quite frankly, that might be a 25. Teleport, hit. That could kill the Sniper and the Dark Mage, but that's Ninja at 120, so I don't know about that. I think without a doubt, I'd like Berserker. Because Cook plus Berserker means that you could live forever, and that's a very solid, stable front line. It just comes down to, do I want Vampire, or do I want Ninja? Because I need Vampire to get hits, primarily, to start bleeding people down, but you're not too tanky for a front line, aren't you? Pick Berserker first. I need to run down my clock. I need another 60 seconds to think things out. Yeah, you're seeing me playing. I am a MOBA coach, D3. This is what's going on here. This is Teamfight Manager. I am the coach of my group, GaleForce, and this is me... I am pit ban draft coach for my team here until we get into a arena fighter that lasts 60 seconds or so. So I'm trying to draft around the best composition for my team exactly. You're gonna see the gameplay when it comes to it. So I have a solid front line, I have healing, I need backline access. Ninja could be ascended option when it comes to it, but who can stop Ninja? Taoist could stop Ninja potentially. Another backline could potentially be disastrous for me. I don't know if Vampire's gonna be fast enough in the set, though, when it comes to it, though. Would Vampire be fast enough to get me my stuff? I think if I use ults early, I could burn them down, and then the backline's always gonna bleed away, and I think that's gonna be big. I think I'm gonna go for this Gambit. I don't know how good it is, though. Towers to steal the Vampire. Yep. Well, either way, I was gonna draft an Assassin, so that was the main thing. Yeah, Kaito, Teamfight Manager 2 is announced, and that's exactly why I am playing this game. Exactly. Alright. Idea here, use my ultimates early. I need Vampire to start getting the bleed prots permanently, because they only have Cold Corpse as their front line, and it's 3 backliners otherwise. So even if they steal that away, Berserker can lifesteal from their own traits. Their Berserker can keep people alive, and Swordsman just needs to get through Cold Corpse. So let's try this out. But 60 seconds on the clock, whoever gets the most kills within this arena is the big thing here. Vampire does actually kill Dark Mage without much of a problem here, and Swordsman's surviving against Cold Corpse, which is huge. Vampire's actually doing pretty decent work. That's a very bad Swordsman ultimate, which I don't like. Good trick ult, though. Berserker's surviving all the way through. This is a 4-1, and Berserker gets to survive against Cold Corpse. Cold Corpse can't really kill them. That is exactly doing their job as Vampire gets the bleed stats. Now Berserker ult comes out. They are sealed away by Talos. Very good ability right there. But we'll have to see if that really pans out in the end. Grenade comes out. It is 7-3v4. Cold Corpse really has 2 lives now. This is really going to attempt to be how they can stagger the respawn. Dark Mage is absolutely popping off and taking the stats away. Vampire can't get anything going, and we are crumbling on the lines here because we can't access their back line. The tower split is absolutely shredding me, and I can't get to the Dark Mage in time yet. Towers really sucks. That really sealed away from my ability to do much, as I had a good opening round, but then all the momentum went away since I couldn't access their triple backline afterwards. Towers shuts down my one assassin, I can't get to them, and even though I have a good front line afterwards, I crumbled over that. Wow, okay. That freaking sucks so much. 0-2. Granted, I'm playing on Insane anyway, so I am very much so in the hole. But I am fighting an upwards battle for trying to figure out the meta. You're in Cold Corpse yourself, Reckless, which is pretty good. You're in Berserker Con, which I enjoy. Exorcist, okay. Ninja Archer, that's fine. Yeah, no, this is literally, it's an arena fighter. I don't get to do anything but just tell my players what to do. It is all about team draft from that point on. Brittle Body. 5% damage increase really sucks, and I don't like that, so I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that at all. Lance is high in priority. Plague Doctor's high in priority. But Ninja's been picked once? To be fair, that might have been faster than Vampire, so that should have been it. I need to see what else I can potentially do. But I hope you're doing well, Kaito D3. If y'all are just here to chill for tonight, then I do appreciate the love. If you do want to play games, D3, just tell me how you're feeling or so, and we'll go on. Because otherwise, I am enjoying my time here in Teamfight Manager, coming back to it. That's going to be 2 losses I got to take into my next round.